Hey, it's Hozzy here, and today I have a great video. I'm going to share with you another one of my resources. I love this one, it's fantastic, and it enables you to check whether your username is available across all these networks and more. And guess what? It's free. Okay, so this is the resource. It's called NameCheck without the second E, and I'll zoom in on the domain at the end of this after I show you what it does so that you can go and get it. So this is a fantastic idea and such a time saver when you're creating social accounts, let's say for a brand, if you're a blogger or a YouTuber, or you just want your own brand, you're starting a website, an online store, whatever, then one of the most frustrating tasks is trying to check all the social networks one by one to see whether that username that you want that's going to represent your brand is available. And of course, you can't really check them. You have to create a user account, or you have to try and sign up for an account, and only then you find out whether the username is available or not. And in the past, I've done this with many brands where I've set up 2-3 usernames, and then I've come to one social network and the username wasn't available there, and that's frustrating. So this is a fabulous tool. Not only will it check all these social networks, it will also check trademarks and also domain names. So let's type in a fictitious username. Okay, let's say we wanted to start a brand called Dog Lover. Why not? Okay, so we're just going to click on the magnifying glass there, and what it's doing there, oh, look at this, beautiful. All the domain extensions that are lit up in green are available, and the other ones aren't. How good is that? This is just brilliant. We've just checked a ton of domain name extensions to see what's available without having to go to a domain registrar and do those searches one by one. So you can very quickly, just in 1 or 2 seconds, decide whether this is going to be the right brand name based on what's available out there to secure. And you can see here all these social networks that are green that have that username available. So you get the idea of what a time saver this is. Let's do another search, okay? Let me just refresh that. Let's type in a person, okay? So let's say a really common name like John Smith, okay? Let's say we want to self-brand. Let's see what, I would expect almost nothing to be available, but look, there are some domain name extensions that are available. And would you believe it, that username is available in Google+. But we can see that a lot of the major networks and some of the major domain name extensions aren't available. So if this was our case, we could then tweak that to the John Smith, and let's see what happens here. By the way, I think for some reason you have to refresh your browser when you use this tool. It doesn't seem to like you doing double searches like that. So the John Smith, let's see what happens here now. Okay, if one of you is called John Smith, you'll be watching this very carefully. So look at this. Okay, the .com is not available. The .co.uk is not available. There's certainly a lot more choices here. Now, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, they're not available. Neither is Pinterest. So let's just refresh the browser and do one more. Okay, the real John Smith. So we've got the real John Smith. I don't know why that keeps. Okay, so let's give that a go. And oh, we have the .com available. So we could have the realjohnsmith.com. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, Facebook is not available, but we have YouTube. Now, Twitter is a yellow color, you'll notice, and that's because the number of characters in the name that I just typed in is too long for Twitter. So that's another handy feature that I forgot to mention. When you type in the name that you want to secure, you'll know right away visually whether it's too long for any of the networks. And on that note, let me show you one last thing. If we typed in John, then you can see that all these that are lit up in yellow are telling you that the name is actually too short for that network. And when you hover your mouse cursor over any of these yellow ones, yellow is obviously an issue, you can see a little tooltip that tells you actually how many characters are needed for that network. So you see Instagram has a minimum of 5 characters, but if you go to eBay, the minimum there is 6 characters. So how much do you love this tool? This is not something you're going to use every day, of course, but this is one handy tool to have in your bookmarks, because when you do come to launch anything, a blog, a website, a store, just anything, or you just want to secure some social media properties for yourself and you want to come up with this snazzy name, a little bit of branding, why not? Then this is just the perfect tool. It's going to save you an entire day. Okay, so let me zoom in. The domain name is namecheck, but without the e.com. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this resource. Please subscribe to the channel, and that way you don't miss any of these great resources that I'm releasing one by one. Okay, so take it easy, and I shall see you in the next video.